JDs and gentlemen, I did just record this whole video, but I didn't click record on the camera. So I've had an absolute fucking stinker, so I'm going to re-record this. It is the round 18 review, and annoyingly, let's just talk about every game. I'm going to do this quite quicker than others because, yeah, like I said, I've already recorded everything. But the first thing I said in my previous life, the AFL ladder is amazing right now. It is genuinely so exciting. It's split into 4 categories, 4 groups, and I'm going to go through those groups really quick. The first, Group 1, is Sydney. Sydney are the only group in Group 1, which is top dog, 3 wins ahead of second place. They're in their own realm. We go all the way down to Group 4, fight against the wooden spoon, I should say. The West Coast Eagles, North Melbourne and Richmond will all be fighting for that wooden spoon. West Coast, despite being 1 win ahead of North and Richmond, they are in the worst form and they've just lost their coach. A lot of turmoil there. That's an interesting battle. I think West Coast is my tip to finish dead last because of that. We scroll up to the group number 3, which consists of 2 teams fighting against that bottom 4 place. Adelaide and St Kilda. Adelaide are on 26 points, St Kilda are on 24 points. Adelaide are 10 points behind 13th place Hawthorn. St Kilda are 12 points ahead of 16th place West Coast. They are not close to anybody, they're in their own group, and they just played this week, and to be honest, they're both as shit as each other. Who's going to finish 4th out of those teams? I'm more inclined to put St Kilda there. And then, finally, we've got Group 2. Group 2, who consists of 12 AFL teams. From 2nd place, Carlton, who are on 44 points, all the way down to 13th place, Hawthorn, who are on 36 points. There are 2 solitary wins splitting 12 AFL teams right now. Carlton, Geelong, Brisbane, Fremantle, Essendon, GWS, Melbourne, Port Adelaide, Western Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Collingwood, and the Hawthorn Football Club all are joined together within 2 wins. That is remarkable. It is insane, and it just staggers me. And you would say, look, this happens a lot where people say, they exaggerate and go, I've never seen a ladder like this. I've never seen a game like this. This is the greatest game, the greatest player. We always forget history. Literally 6 years ago in round 20, there might have been a ladder that's even closer than this, but we just don't remember, right? But like genuinely, even if there was, this is still insanity. And I think what this is important, what is very important given this, is, can't get my words out. Given that everyone's close on points, what's the thing that splits a team if they're on equal points? Percentage. And percentage seems to have never been more important than any other season. We've seen 2 teams on 44 points, percentage splits them. 3 teams on 42 points, percentage split them. And then, look, Brisbane and Essendon are on the same points. Brisbane have a percentage of 120, Essendon 98.8. That is a percentage difference of 21.2. And by this stage of the season, that is enormous. There are 3 teams on 40 points, all closed in by 6%. And there are 4 teams on 36 points, 20% splits, Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn. So, look, from that, you can probably gather that the Essendon Football Club and Hawthorn are a bit nervous because their percentage means that when they finish the season, whatever points they get, they're going to finish lowest of that tier of people join their points. Anyway, this is the round review, and I'm not even talking about the round yet. Collingwood and Geelong. Collingwood at home lost 71-91, 20-point victors Geelong were, and I thought even though Dacos had a decent game, some of the midfielders to go had a decent game. Darcy Cameron had a phenomenal game. I think he got like nearly 60 hitouts. It was the last quarter where Geelong won. They were overall the more impressive team when it mattered in the last quarter. Even though I thought Collingwood were going to win the whole match, I thought they still have it. Most likely, they didn't. Geelong were in 3rd, Collingwood were in 12th. Even though they're only split by 2 wins, Geelong looked much better than Collingwood. And Collingwood struggling with those injuries. Will they make the 8? It's very up in contention, 50-50. For me, they just scrape in the 8, but a lot of people have them out the 8. Hawthorn took on Fremantle. Hawthorn won by 13 points. I did predict this would happen in Tasmania. It was very close, and for a large part of the game, you thought Freo would get the job done. And when they were heading that last quarter, Freo, I thought with the experience they have and the inexperience Hawthorn have, I thought they would win. But Hawthorn got the job done, and I'm glad they did because I'm a big fan of Hawthorn. I'm a big fan of them. Sicily going up forward because of the injury to Mitch Lewis. You would think there aren't going to be too many more winnable games for Hawthorn, so this was a much needed win if they were to make a fight for the 8. Even though they're still in 13th, it's a great win for them. Fremantle looking a little bit shaky here and there, in 5th place still in the top 8 with a decent percentage of 113. They're fine, but bad loss. St Kilda. Sydney, absolutely dominated North Melbourne. All we need to talk about is Errol Goulding. Can he win the Brownlow? I think he got like 41 touches. Absolutely dominated North Melbourne. This was a classic game. This was a game you would expect in round 1, round 2, when North were awful. Sydney were great. And Sydney, are they back on form? Let's wait to see when they have a test. Like I said, we're moving through this really quick. The Western Bulldogs, they did win by 14 points to Carlton. What I think this reflects is more the Dogs. They're in form, and then the week after they lose. They're out of form, in form, out of form, in form. I just cannot keep track of them. They are in 10th place. They have played 17 games with 36 wins. So they have effectively won, if I can do the maths correctly, they've won 9 games, so they are just positive. They're just over 50-50. And that is the Western Bulldogs. Carlton are back in that group 2 that I talked about earlier in the video. It's a really bad loss for them. And they're going to be fighting. I still think they'll get top 2 pretty easily. But they're back in the pack. And when you're in the pack, life doesn't come easy. The Dogs are in the pack as well. But to be honest, even though I thought Cripps and Bont were phenomenal and I loved watching that, not enough for the Dogs. And that didn't give me enough confidence in the Dogs still. On the next game, we had a fight. This was a Group 3 battle. Adelaide took on St Kilda. It was close, but Adelaide were the better team. They won by 32 points, 7 on a 39. 39 points scored from St Kilda. That is deplorable. It's embarrassing, and it's just not good enough. Ross Lyon's got to go. This was a shit match to watch. A combined point scored of 110. That's fucking ass. And no real good performance for me there. There were some good performers in the Melbourne-Essendon match. Nick Martin kicked 4 goals in this match. Trent Rivers is standing up. Melbourne won by 17 points, 84-67. They are back in the hunt, Melbourne, but they're still not convincing me enough. Essendon are up and down. They're a bit like the Dogs. I just don't trust them. I don't trust either of these teams. And that's sort of why I knew this would be close. And whoever won, I wouldn't be convinced on either. But given it was their home, it was their home ground, home game, the Melbourne Football Club, would think they deserved the win. They were the better team. They should have won by more. Essendon with a late flurry of goals. Melbourne just sort of fell asleep. Gold Coast shocked. They won again at home, beating Port Adelaide by 14 points, 96-82. I thought this was game of the round in terms of excitement. This is a super exciting game. Free-flowing, fun to watch, as Gold Coast and Port Adelaide are. I thought the midfield battle was outstanding. Anderson, fucking Flanders, taking on the likes of Butters, Rosie. It was fun to watch. The highest goal scorer here was 2 goals for 6 players. So it was a super spread performance from both teams. Gold Coast got a great win. They still need a win away from home though if they're going to make the finals. Put Adelaide in 9th, Gold Coast in 11th. That was a much needed win for Gold Coast. I'm going to skip through the Richmond game next because as you all know, I record a separate video on Richmond every round analysing the game. We lost by 24 points to the Giants, but I thought we performed a lot better than that scoreboard says. And finally, I didn't think this would happen. I did tip Brisbane, but I did save Adam Simpson. Oh, no, actually, sorry. I did tip Brisbane if Adam Simpson did not coach. Even then, though, I thought they might have got over the line. West Coast, they lost, obviously, by 13 points to the Brisbane Lion, 93-106. Home stadium, Simo's done the toss of the coin. He's in the stadium. I thought perhaps the West Coast Eagles would stand up, show one last fight for Simo, even though he wasn't coaching. And a lot of these teams, when a mid-season sacking of a coach, the game after, the first game where they had the new coach, they respond with the win. Happens a lot. North have had a lot. Carlton have had a lot. This didn't happen this time. Brisbane were too good. Lachie Neale. I pray he doesn't win the Brownlow just because I hate multiple Brownlow winners winning it again. But fuck me, he's good. And if he wins the Brownlow, he probably deserves it because right now, he is insane. That's the round. Thanks for watching. Follow the TikTok FTFooty, and I'll be seeing you in another video.